to something in VR, a game that I got to play a few weeks ago at the pre-E3 Judge Week that was really cool, so I wanted to show it to you. It's an upcoming Oculus title, Lone Echo from Ready at Dawn, and Rue is here to tell us about this. So I got to play multiplayer VR. You guys had this crazy setup. We were all jumping in Oculus headsets, touch controllers, and having this insane battle. I know we've got some footage of it here, but this game obviously has a single-player component as well. We're going to talk more about the MP here, but this is such an insane experience to have a multiplayer battle where you're effectively like you've got this ball and you're effectively playing. You're playing sport.
Exactly, you're playing sport. Actually, that was the funnest part about this, is that actually this was born out of the single player.
Okay.
The movement model that we built for single player turned to be something that we wanted to explore a little bit more out of. We built a VR game, a multiplayer VR game out of it, and that's Echo Arena.
Echo Arena, here we go. And I got to play this, which is crazy, and to think that people are going to be online, all with their Oculus headsets and their touch controllers, battling in this. I mean, you know, VR, it's such early days. How many iterations or how many versions did you, like, conceptually did you have to go through to even make this work?
We actually had to go through quite a few, to tell you the truth, because when we started, this wasn't about multiplayer, right? The multiplayer component of VR, we didn't know what it was going to be. It was already new enough that getting into multiplayer was already a big step for everyone, I think, at that time. So when we started with single player, we thought, all right, let's focus on this, let's make our mechanics work. But one of the things that actually really changed everything for us as a developer was when we played Toy Box. The first time that two players put Toy Box together, and suddenly you're passing something from one hand to the other to somebody else.
Yeah, that demo when I got that was crazy.
You remember that?
Oh,
like, The feeling.
No, because I was like, oh, this is going to be cool. I put a guy, and then the other guy was there with his hand and handing you stuff. Just to see that, you know, not even avatar, but that sort of, you know, ghost image of someone.
Exactly, ghost image. You know what was amazing about that ghost image is that the first time I played it, I knew who that other person was. Even though it was just an avatar, you kind of know from somebody's
personality, how people move.
There you go, And that's what kicked off this whole thing, which was, what would it mean to actually really be able to interact with people that way, but beyond just like, you know, just two avatars sitting, you know, across from each other and passing something, but truly being interactive in it. And the movement model we built for Lone Echo worked perfectly for what we wanted to do. And this basically was, actually this came out of a game jam that we had at the studio. And we do those once in a way, I mean, not too often, but when this was put together, it was a game jam and a lot of ideas came together throughout a weekend. And we looked at the findings. We had, I want to say, more than a half dozen versions of different multiplayer games. And this one stuck. This one was the one that actually worked.
And that was just the idea of this kind of ball-based sport?
Yeah, it was this this idea that, like,
with zero G.
Exactly, with zero G, it was about the social interaction. It was the expression, absolute free movement in this. You can actually touch anything in this arena, and
grab and push. And that was the thing, is it's, you know, already VR is complicated, but then when you add zero G in, and they said I got a hang of it pretty quickly, but it was a lot to actually, you know, find the surface, grab it, and then use that to propel you through the environment. You have little sort of jets that can kind of help guide you a little bit, but it really is to get that momentum. It's
exactly the momentum,
you know, grab and pull. So,
And I think that actually I watched you play that day, and that was the amazing thing, is the barrier of entry to a game like this. You would think it's hard. But the amazing thing is that as soon as you get into that VR headset and you have the Oculus Touch in your hands, you realize that what you do with your eyes and your hand are replicated one-to-one in VR. And what was strange for us in some ways, because we knew that movement was a tough thing to do in VR, we actually saw that people were getting comfortable and not getting, not getting any kind of, like, you know, discomfort playing this. And we've seen players stay in for hours playing Echo Arena and not have a single problem actually playing the game.
Wow. Yeah, no, we played for a while, and it was a lot of fun. Let's talk quickly about the sort of single player. You know, this is part of the experience.
Yes.
But you know, the game is obviously much more than just the multiplayer battles. Tell us about the overall game. I know you've got more to share this week at E3 on it, but what can you share so far about it?
Absolutely. I mean, the single player actually was really our way of showing people that a full AAA style game could be made in VR. The game is called Lone Echo, as you know already. You play an artificial intelligence, a cybernetic AI, on a mining station on the rings of Saturn. And in that game, you can literally touch anything inside the environment. You can interact with anything you want to. You got NPCs that one main NPC that you can interact with. You can navigate in zero G, and what you're going to do is really find out what the mysteries that unfold in front of you, what they lead you to. And it's a full-on single-player campaign that is story-driven.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to see more of that. Yeah, you guys have definitely taken on a new challenge here with doing this, and that's what I love at Ready at Dawn. You guys are always pushing in different directions, the types of games that you do. Has it been fun working in VR?
It has been